For most people, the modern alien mystery begins in 1947 in Roswell. A rancher discovered strange metallic debris scattered across his land. The military arrived quickly. At first, officials claimed they had recovered a flying disc. Within hours, the statement was retracted. Suddenly, it was a weather balloon. Case closed. Except it wasn't. Witnesses later described memory erasure, intimidation, and materials unlike anything manufactured on Earth. Roswell became the symbol of a cover-up. But what if Roswell was not the beginning of alien contact, only the first? Time it almost became public. To trace the deeper roots of this mystery, we must travel thousands of years back, long before governments, satellites, or radar systems existed. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands as one of the most astonishing structures ever built. Its alignment to true north is nearly perfect, off by only a fraction of a degree. Its proportions encode mathematical constants that would not officially be discovered until much later in history. Mainstream archaeology credits this to human ingenuity, and perhaps that is true. But the question remains, how did a civilization without modern instruments achieve such astronomical precision? The mystery deepens when we examine other ancient sites around the world. In Peru, vast geoglyphs known as the Nazca Lines stretch across the desert floor, enormous shapes and animal figures only fully visible from high above. From ground level, they are almost impossible to recognize. Why would an ancient civilization create artwork designed to be seen from the sky? Who was the intended audience? Across the ocean in Mexico, Mayan temples were constructed with extraordinary astronomical knowledge. Their calendars tracked planetary movements with remarkable accuracy. Venus cycles were calculated with precision. Solar eclipses were predicted. How did multiple civilizations, separated by oceans and with no known communication between them, develop advanced astronomical systems so early in human history? Even older than the pyramids are the writings of the Sumerians in ancient Mesopotamia. Their clay tablets describe beings known as the Anunnaki, entities who descended from the heavens. According to these texts, these beings brought knowledge of agriculture, architecture, and governance. They were described as powerful, radiant, and godlike. Historians interpret these accounts as mythology, but mythology often grows from experience. What if ancient humans encountered something they could not explain and interpreted it as divine throughout religious texts across cultures? There are repeated references to fiery chariots in the sky, wheels within wheels, pillars of light descending from heaven. Medieval European paintings even depict strange disc-like objects hovering in the background of sacred scenes. Are these merely symbolic artistic choices, or subtle records of something witnessed? Skeptics argue that humans naturally look to the sky and create gods in their own image. That similar myths arise because human imagination follows similar patterns. And that may be true, but it does not fully explain why descriptions of sky beings share common elements across continents that had no contact for thousands of years. Fast forward to the 20th century, when sightings were no longer limited to ancient texts. Military pilots began reporting encounters with craft that defied known physics. Objects that accelerated instantly, without visible propulsion. Vehicles that changed direction at impossible angles, without slowing down. Radar systems tracked targets, moving at speeds far beyond any known aircraft capability. Governments began using a new term, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. Notice the wording. Not imaginary, not debunked, simply unidentified. In recent years, declassified military footage has shown objects performing maneuvers that scientists struggle to explain. Officials admit that some sightings remain unresolved. The origin is unknown. The technology, if it is technology, is beyond publicly acknowledged capabilities. So here is the question that refuses to disappear. If these objects are not ours, and not from any known adversary, then whose are they? One possibility is that aliens are visiting us now. But there is another possibility that is far more unsettling, that they have been here all along. Imagine an advanced civilization capable of interstellar travel, a species thousands, perhaps millions of years ahead of us technologically. Such beings would not need to invade Earth with dramatic displays of force. Conquest would be unnecessary. Observation would be far more efficient. They could study humanity, quietly guiding development subtly when necessary. Some alternative researchers suggest that human evolution contains sudden leaps, bursts of cognitive advancement that appear rapidly in the archaeological record. The development of complex language, the sudden emergence of advanced tools, the construction of massive monuments. Mainstream science explains this as natural evolutionary progress, and there is strong evidence to support that explanation. But for those who question, the pattern feels accelerated. Then there are the stories of hybrids, beings who are half human and half divine. Legends of demigods born from unions between sky beings and mortals. Could these myths represent misunderstood genetic experiments? If an advanced species wished to study humanity long-term, embedding their DNA within ours would ensure deep integration. It sounds like science fiction, but genetic engineering is already a reality for us. If humanity can edit genes today, imagine what a civilization thousands of years more advanced could accomplish. And if such integration occurred in ancient times, would we even recognize it now? There is also the issue of secrecy. Governments classify information for many reasons: national security, technological advantage, public stability. If definitive proof of extraterrestrial contact existed, the implications would be enormous. Religions would be challenged, political power structures could destabilize, economic systems might shift overnight. Would leaders risk global panic by revealing such information? History shows that transformative discoveries are not always shared. Immediately, nuclear technology was developed in secrecy. Stealth aircraft existed years before public acknowledgement. Advanced research often remains hidden until disclosure becomes unavoidable. Some whistleblowers claim that recovered materials from unidentified craft are being studied in secret facilities. Others suggest that propulsion systems far beyond conventional physics are under investigation. None of these claims have been definitively proven in public forums. Yet the persistence of such testimonies fuels suspicion. Still, there remains a simpler explanation: that humans are pattern-seeking creatures, that we connect dots where none exist, that ancient engineering brilliance does not require alien assistance, that unidentified aerial phenomena are advanced drones, sensor glitches, or atmospheric anomalies. The truth may lie somewhere between extremes. Perhaps aliens are not walking among us. Perhaps they are not secretly controlling governments. Perhaps they have never landed on Earth at all. It is entirely possible that we are alone, at least in our immediate cosmic neighborhood. But consider the scale of the universe. There are billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, many with planets in habitable zones. Statistically, the existence of other life seems likely. The real question is distance and timing. Civilizations may rise and fall across millions of years, rarely overlapping. Yet even if alien life exists somewhere far away, that does not mean it has visited us. And still, the stories persist. From ancient carvings depicting strange figures and helmets, to modern radar data capturing objects that outpace our fastest jets, the pattern continues. Across millennia, humanity has looked up and wondered whether we are being watched. What if the greatest secret is not that aliens are hiding from us? What if they are waiting for technological maturity, waiting for global unity, waiting for the moment when humanity is ready to confront a truth that would permanently alter our sense of identity? Because confirmation of alien contact would not simply be a scientific discovery, it would be a philosophical earthquake. Every religion would reinterpret its teachings, every government would reevaluate its authority. Humanity would no longer be the central focus of existence, but one species among many. Perhaps that realization is the final step in our evolution. Or perhaps the truth is far more ordinary, that ancient humans were geniuses in their own right, that myths are symbolic storytelling, and that unidentified objects remain mysteries simply because our data is incomplete. In the end, the most powerful aspect of this mystery is not proof, but possibility. The possibility that somewhere in our distant past, something extraordinary happened. The possibility that we were never entirely alone. The possibility that history, as written in textbooks, tells only part of the story. Until definitive evidence emerges, the question will remain open. Have aliens been on Earth for thousands of years? Or are we projecting our curiosity onto the unknown? Maybe the truth they don't want you to know is not a single hidden document or secret crash site. Maybe it is this: that humanity is still searching, still learning, and still standing at the edge of a cosmic ocean, unsure whether something else is looking back at us from the dark. And perhaps one day, when the sky lights up not with mystery, but with unmistakable presence, we will finally understand whether the whispers of ancient civilizations were myths or memories. And sometimes the mystery itself is the most powerful truth of all. And sometimes the mystery itself is the most powerful truth of all.